Moorlands Radio Sport, in association with Leek Building Society.
That was a very welcome 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, massively so. It's one of those games we've not had too many of this season where obviously we've come out on the right side of a result when it's been a really, really close game. And credit to the opposition for making it such a close game. You know, Widnes clearly had a game plan. In fact, we spoke last week, didn't we, that teams will create specific game plans. They've reverted back to playing with 3 centre-halves today, which they've done a little while ago. I saw them do that against Prescott and a couple of other teams. But they've specifically gone in with a plan today to make it really, really difficult to deal with our front players, and they did a good job at it. We still created moments, and we could have had a second before half time, which would have been really welcome. But obviously we came in at 1-0, and we'd spoke at the start of the game about keeping that clean sheet intact. Widnes, when they get the first goal, they tend to end up on the right side of the result. So yeah, really, really pleased. And you know, it's one of those days that today, that if we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, you know, we'll certainly look back on at the end of the season as a really welcome 3 points, as you say.
You weren't as fluid today, I don't think, as you have been in recent times. Is that down to poorer play? I didn't say poor, I said poorer play from Leek, or was it because of Widnes that they played so well? They had their game plan and did it so well. Yeah,
I think we have to give credit to the opposition. We weren't at our fluid best, absolutely not. There are certainly many circumstances that make that, you know, that we can sort of put that down to, one being their shape, but B, you know, the pitch is difficult. It is difficult to move that ball quickly. You know, the lads were saying that before the game. To be fair, it's probably as tough a surface as when they've come here in the past. The ones that've been irregular, it's probably as tough today as it's been at any point. Obviously, it wasn't overly windy, but it was still, you know, there were still other elements as well that will have certainly played a part in the game. I mean, the corner, of course, you know, may have been slightly wind assisted, but I think we have to give credit to the opposition. But you know, the teams aren't going to roll over and just allow us to score 3 and 4 every week. It just isn't going to work like that. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the corner and the goal that came about. How do you read it? Was it Keenan's goal? I know you don't really care.
I can't see why it shouldn't be Keenan's goal. So, you know, he's so dangerous with his delivery. You know, he's on the money nearly every single time. We scored one last week in that pretty much that same area. Trickett obviously scored with a great header. Ollie had a chance a little bit earlier last week as well from one of those deliveries that landed in there. So yeah, you know, I think we give credit where credit's due on that front. He's put it into a great area, so let's give him the goal.
And I'm sure he won't want to not have the goal. I mean, you know, we don't care really as Leek Town. The supporters won't care at all that it's gone in.
Well, he doesn't get the assist if it goes down as an own goal, you know, so he'll definitely be claiming the goal.
He'll definitely be claiming something, won't he? Now, really, although they had good parts of play, Widnes had good parts of play, and they had pressure times on you. You really defended well, I thought, and I thought Harrison was excellent today.
Yes, yeah, I think we were very solid defensively, and that's been really pleasing to see. In the 5 games that we've now been on this little run, we've been defensively much more secure. Of course, the goals that we conceded against Clitheroe and Witten came in the last minutes. So you know, we've been much tighter defensively. I think the voice of Dino, he plays a huge part in his experience, the way he manages the tempo of the game. And yeah, Ollie was one, but Keenan, you know, credit to Keenan going in and playing at centre half. You know, obviously something he has done before, but not too many times. And I thought again he did a great job in there. 2 full-backs again. I mean, Bucco's been unbelievable all season, and Ollie Hayward's been a fantastic signing for us. So, and I thought the back 4 were incredibly solid. And obviously it isn't just them. You know, you've got to look at what goes on in front of that to make sure that we're a compact unit, and they're all running and fighting for each other so much at the moment, which is the basis of any strong team. And of course, then we've got that little bit of quality as well, which at the moment is pulling us through. So yeah, chuffed to bits.
We as amateur managers here doing the commentary were really having kittens about the fact that Widnes had got real width to their side. They got good attacking fullbacks. Batty and Rain were doing well. Did you actually specifically talk about that at half time, about how to counter that? Yeah,
well, I mean, we knew they were going to play a 3 before the game, because we looked at their lineup and we knew it could have been a back 4 or a back 3. And obviously once we saw them warming up, we had a good idea it was likely to be a 3. So we spoke about that before the game. It didn't cause us massive problems. They did have good width, and obviously those big switches that they hit on a couple of occasions can cause you problems, but I don't feel like it really did. I think the left back got in down the far side in the first half, and Keane's made a great block just in front of Dino. Aside from that, I don't think they caused us too many problems when they got into those areas with the quality they put into the box as such. And we were always there to make the first contact. I can't think of too many occasions. I think there might have been one in the first half, but second half, I can't remember a time that they've really won a first contact in the box. So yeah, the lads have got to love defending. They love defending the goal because it's a part of the game. In fact, when you have moments where you're under the cosh, you got to enjoy that, embrace that. And I don't think for as much as they got into sort of decent areas from a territory point of view, I don't think they ever looked like really threatening. It was mainly long distance attempts, I feel. So I was comfortable that we were in good control, but of course at 1-0 you do know that you're only one moment away, so a second goal would have been nice. It didn't quite come, but we've seen it out.
You've been lucky in a way, or you've been resolute that you've picked more or less the same side for several weeks now. Is that have you got this is your starting 11?
No, absolutely not. No, I think something I learned from the spell of games where we played Saturday, Tuesday over that period of 7 games in about 21 days or whatever it was. Again, we didn't make too many changes during that period, and I learned from that. So going into Tuesday, we'll obviously have to look at the lads and see how they're doing. Obviously, Groke's come off with a little bit of tightness, so again, we'll see how he settles down. Obviously, we'll assess the others, find out how they're getting on tomorrow after they've slept, and go from there. But I would certainly envisage us freshening the pack for Tuesday for sure.
Local derby coming up. Newcastle probably not going through a great time on the pitch. What are you planning for that one? Yeah, of course. I mean, they won at Leek last season, didn't they, at Harrison Park? So we know it's going to be a tough game. We know what we're going to come up against in terms of, again, they're going to use that as a blueprint. What they did last year, when they won the game with the set play, and again, teams will look at today and go, Widnes have done a good job on them, and that's something we've got to embrace and understand that that's part and parcel of being a team towards the top end. So yeah, we're expecting a really tough game. I don't know how they've done today, but we are expecting a tough game for sure, regardless of the fact that they are obviously down towards the bottom end. It's a local derby, and obviously that and Kidsgrove over the next. I think it's interesting actually because the league itself has got pretty much, I think, aside from maybe the odd game, every game over the next 2 game weeks on Boxing Day, New Year's Day is a local derby. So I'm sure that'll throw up some funny results. So hopefully we're not one of them. And lastly, mood in the camp. It's Christmas. You're top of the table. What's the feeling in the camp now? Yeah,
I see a real focus in the group. I've seen a real focus following on from that Clitheroe game that started this little run that we've been on. We know it's not going to last forever. We know that there'll be setbacks along the road. But I feel like the group's learnt a lot and come through a great deal up to this point in the season. So yeah, we're at the halfway point in the season, and if we'd been offered, where we are right now at the start, we'd have snapped that person's hand off. So yeah, we're really chuffed, and we're not going to get too carried away. Like I say, we've got 2 really tough local derbies coming up, and it doesn't get any easier. So we just ourselves down and get ready to go again Tuesday, hopefully get another 3 points.
And lastly, I've had a Christmas card which says Sanders a Leek Town fan. Do you think he really is?
I've got no idea.
But he's given you 3 points today.
Yeah, he certainly has. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.